जय हिंद सर।
हेलो। हाँ जी, जय हिंद बेटा, जय हिंद। सो सबसे पॉजिटिव चीज तो आपकी ये होती है कि डेफिनेटली विद इन 1 मिनट है सबके सब ऑनलाइन आ जाते हैं क्विकली। सो दैट इज वेरी गुड थिंग, क्योंकि टाइम वेस्टेज नहीं होता और वी हैव
जय
लिमिटेशन
हिंद
फॉर।
सर।
जय हिंद बेटा, जय हिंद। ओके, सो ऑल आउट देयर। सो सेशन को स्टार्ट करने से पहले 1 मिनट तो सबसे पहले मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट तो हमारे जो ऑनलाइन व्यूअर्स है उनके लिए है। तो अभी हमने जो हमारा जनरल डिस्कशन था उसके लिए जैसे ही हमने उसको ऑनलाइन पब्लिश किया तो बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं वो क्वेरीज कर रहे हैं कि सर हम भी इस ग्रुप डिस्कशन को ज्वाइन करना चाहते हैं। तो ये बेटा क्योंकि यहाँ पे हम जूम के ऊपर जो मतलब कि ग्रुप डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं और यहाँ पे एवरी इंडिविजुअल स्टूडेंट्स के साथ में हम पर्सनली डिस्कस कर रहे हैं और उनकी जो प्रॉब्लम्स है या जो कन्वर्सेशन है उसमें जो मतलब फॉल्ट लाइन्स है या जो मिस्टेक्स है उनको आइडेंटिफाई कर रहे हैं। तो हम जो आपकी जितनी बल्क में रिक्वेस्ट आ रही है उनको मतलब कि अभी उनको मतलब कि यू कैन से अकोमोडेट नहीं कर सकते हैं। और जब आपका मतलब कि डेफिनेटली रिटर्न क्लियर हो जाएगा उसके बाद में डेफिनेटली हम है वो आपके साथ कनेक्ट करेंगे। और नेक्स्ट टाइम है हम सेशन के साथ में मतलब कि डेफिनेट इसी वे के अंदर आपके साथ में भी मतलब ग्रुप डिस्कशन करेंगे। और जो एयरफोर्स के बच्चे हैं बहुत सारे वो भी इसमें क्वेरीज कर रहे हैं, तो उनका अगर जैसे ही रिजल्ट आता है और उसके बाद में जो हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म से प्रिपरेशन किए हुए हैं और वो फेज 2 की प्रिपरेशन करना चाहेंगे तो उनके लिए भी डेफिनेटली हमें इसी तरह के सेशन से वो ऑर्गेनाइज करेंगे। एनडी रिटर्न के लिए बहुत सारे बच्चे थे जो मतलब कि इस सेशन के लिए भी रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे थे, लेकिन वो किसी ऑफलाइन इंस्टीट्यूट्स वगैरह से प्रिपरेशन किए हुए थे। तो उनके लिए हमने मतलब कि इस टाइम के लिए नो बोला। क्यों? क्योंकि ग्रुप बड़ा होता तो उसके बाद में हम इंडिविजुअल स्टूडेंट्स पे है वो फोकस नहीं कर पाते। तो अब की बार हम सिर्फ उन्हीं स्टूडेंट्स को मतलब अकोमोडेट कर रहे हैं जो यहाँ पे हमारे मतलब कि जो अर्जुन बेस से स्टडी कर रहे थे या जय हिंद बेस से स्टडी कर रहे थे और उन्होंने रिटर्न क्लियर किया है। नेक्स्ट टाइम डेफिनेटली जो हमारे रिटर्न हमारी मतलब कि जो बैचेस से रिटर्न क्लियर करके जो बच्चे आएंगे उनको इसी तरह से 1-to-1 हम जो ओवर दी जूम कॉल है ग्रुप डिस्कशन के लिए वो कनेक्ट करेंगे, चाहे उसके लिए हमें लॉन्गर टाइम पे कनेक्ट करना पड़े। ठीक है। तो हाँ, अब हम इंटरनल डिस्कस करते हैं। तो कल हम है चाइना के मोस्ट ऑफ दी टॉपिक्स वो कवर कर चुके थे और इट वाज द यू कैन से मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक ऑल्सो बिकॉज राइट नाउ इंडियन फॉरेन पॉलिसी इज completely China centric. And now next important topic is India USA relation, because now India is you can say shifting foreign policy from the USA to other countries, specifically Western countries. So how India US relations are important and how we are beneficial when our relations are warming with USA in that scenario, how it is beneficial for us, how it is beneficial for USA, and how we can get benefits from these you can say upward relations. So last time I think Chaitanya had initiated, but this time we will keep rotation numbers. Okay, because in that scenario everyone will get chance, right? So in that scenario we can give numbers. So Sonu Kumar will be number 1, Priyanshu Khokar will be number 2, Kuswant will be 3, Kashish will be 4, Chaitanya is 5, and Amitabh is 6. So today is Sonu. So you can initiate this session and share your point of view. Yes, Sonu, please go ahead.
Good evening, all of you. Today my topic is India-US relation. Talking further, first I want to start with historical aspects. After India got independence in 1947, we had 3 wars with Pakistan: 1965 war, 1971 war, and the Kargil war. In 1965 war and 1971 war, USA has not helped India, as that time the country was divided into bipolar allies, and the USA has demanded that India should join the Western allies, so that its power gets strengthened. But India has recently come out from the colonial of 200 years approx. So India does not agree to join it. And one of the also reason is that India has a better relation with Russia at that time, and Pakistan has relation with USA. Now, after the World Trade attack and the Kargil war, our relation get better because at that time USA realized that there is an issue which India is demanding from long time about terrorists. Is it something? And both of the country come on the same pace, and then after our relation got strengthened day by day. We get example of our relation by the example that India, by the force of USA, India got the power to deal nuclear deal with the all other countries. In spite, India is not the member of NPT. It is the first country who got this type of is that it is not the member of NPT, and they can deal with all country. Now day by day, India is sharing military cooperation, economic cooperation, and as well as because culture is also transferring. India, there are various agreements between two countries going on. Malabar exercise is also going on. Coming to the agreements, Beka agreement. Talking about the Beka agreement, it is the agreement between USA that between USA and India, that USA provide exact geographical location in the aggression time to India. And second is Lemoa agreement. It is the agreement of transferring of logistic and the military supplies between those countries in times of need. And our coming to the conclusion, I think that the relationship between India and USA is very positive in phase, and it would attain a great height. And because both the country are largest democratic country of the world, and they are also the member of Quad, and it is also the need of the hour, because as we can see, China is expanding its power day by day. So it is the need of the hour. Thank you.
Good. Okay, so overall, I think you took most of the content from our current affair, or you can say India-USA relation class. So, and this is a good outcome. Definitely, there are some points you can see in summarization point of view, but I will not release those points. First, let's go with the others, and in last, we will say that how it will be better if we can just conclude or summarize the complete relations. So now we can, but it's improvement. If you will compare yourself also from day 1 to, I think this is 4th or 5th class. So definitely you can realize that there is a improvement, right? You can also feel yourself. Now we can go for the next. So who is number 2?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Good evening to all.
Yeah,
Today, I will speak on the topic India and USA relations. Historically, from 1947, India and USA have not so much good and not so much bad relations. And after independence in 1947, the USA and other European countries mm, invited India to be a part of Western Alliance, but India did not. And later in 1962, India received some help from the USA in northeastern parts with China war. And later in 1965, India faced adversary as due to because uh, the hardware that Pakistan used against India was mostly imported from USA, and it was somehow a bad point for India. And later in 1971, USA openly came in support with Pakistan, and hence a bad impact in India-USA relations. And later in 1947, when India done nuclear test, USA criticized and sanctioned India in various fields. And later the relations got in a relations gone bad. And later in 1991, economic reforms came, and India opened its market for foreign direct investment, and the relations with USA were going on like fruitfully. And later in 1998, India again tested nuclear weapon, and USA against criticized it. And uh, in 2001, there was a terrorist attack in USA business trade centers, and USA first time feel terrorist like things and supported India to swipe out these things. and later in 2005, 123 agreement was signed between USA and India on the nuclear deal without a member of NPT. And later deal was completed in 2008, but it brings a great impact on India and its economy. Coming to the trade, India and USA have India exports about 51 billion trade, 51 billion US dollar things to USA, and export about 28 import about a 28 billion US dollar trade. And sir, India have signed various agreements for the military and defense field, as like BECA agreement, GSOMIA agreement, uh, LAMO agreement, and main COMCASA agreement. The BECA agreement generally in the field of that India can use geospatial maps of USA for 100% accuracy, and COMCASA is like India you can use USA's communication things with better communication and secured and end-to-end encryption information. And also the uh, two countries are part of Quad and done Malabar exercise since 1991, and 2+2 dialogue talks. Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good, very good. Only one feedback, like you guys are mentioning BECA agreement and LEMO and all these things. So on that feedback is, if you know pretty much more about these agreements, then only please mention or highlight these agreements. Otherwise, you can just mention that recently India and USA have signed some agreements as well. Because if you will just highlight these points, then someone can ask regarding to these points, and you should be aware about what is the full form of this, and what is the advantage of these agreements, and that definitely there are some disadvantages. So in that scenario, you have to work on those points. Otherwise, you can keep it on light mode only. If you will mention these points, then definitely there can be question will be generated, and you should be prepared for that question. But overall, definitely it's good. So now quickly we will go for the number 3. So who is number 3?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Please go ahead.
I want to initiate the India-USA relation from 1962. In 1962, Indo-China War, and USA helped India, and in 1965, in 1964 to 1966, a food crisis in India, and USA and Western countries helped India with 10 million tons of the wheat. And in 1965 and the 1970 war, India-Pakistan war, USA helped Pakistan with the military support. And in the 1971 war, the USA warships in Indian Ocean wanted to capture the wanted to capture India, but the USSR become a helper of India, and the nuclear submarines sent to Indian Ocean and saved to India. And in the 1991, the economic reform in India and the LPG form established in 1998. In 1998, India tested the nuclear bomb, and the USA sanctioned on India. And in 2001, the terrorist attack on the WTC World Trade Center in the Washington. And after this, USA and India diplomatic relations are also good. And in the 2005, the USA helped the India through the seat in the NSG, and without form sign of an NPT. And in 2007, the formation of Quad, and that India and the USA trade is also good after the 2001. But after the 2011, the India and USA relations, the trade relations are becoming very good. And in the according to data of 2018, $87.5 billion the trade of the goods and services and goods and service sectors. And in the S-400 issue is a very latest issue, because when India signs the S-400 deal with Russia, so USA opposed it, and the one to India, if the India signed with the S-400 deal with Russia, so through the CARSA agreement, the USA sanctioned on India, but India ignored it, and the deal signed with S-400 with Russia, because the India feels the threat of China on the LACs, and the Quad group is also good because the Malabar joint exercise from 1992, and the the many agreements signed between the India and USA. Through the agreements, the India use the logistic support of the USA in the war scenarios, the military in infrastructure use of the USA and the each other country, and the pinpoint accuracy for the missile attacks, and the against the proxy wars and the terrorism in India, the insurgency on LAC, the sensitive information shared to each other countries. So thank you, sir. I conclude my topic.
Okay, good. So whatever I am feeling, I don't know what will be final outcome for your SSB results, but that improvements which is I can observe in everyone, and that is priceless. Definitely, I think you guys are putting a lot of efforts during the off hours as well, and that improvement is visible in everyone. So that is a very positive thing for our this session. So now we will go for number 4. Who is number 4?
Sir, Kashish.
Hi, Kashish. Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Sir, when we talk about the India and US relations, there are many ups and downs. And from 1950, after the independence of India, there are two major powers, US and USSR, and India is towards more towards the USSR. And from this time, the relation between the US and America started deteriorating, and in this time, Pakistan was in the favor of USA was in the favor of Pakistan, and also criticized in the many fields against India. Where after in 1963 war, in the Indo-Pakistan war, Pakistan was supported by the USA. Pakistan was supported by the USA, and thereafter in 1972, when India took first step towards the nuclear test, their first step towards the nuclear test, their USA also criticized against that also by sanctions act, and stopping the other countries to provide the material for the nuclear test. And it all arises when 9/11 attacks of the World Defense Center of US, their World Center of US, their USA realized the importance of ties with the India, and they started to make some ties with the India by stating some issues which have common interest with India and USA. They're like same tackling terrorism against the Islamist terrorists, and also same defense interests, and where it is the start for the good relations between the India and USA, where, and it also from this time this improved, and the relation between the India and USA stands on three pillars like defense and energy requirements, and and the and will state the third point in the next line. Okay. Energy requirements. When it comes to defense area, here USA helped India in many fields. First, it was like Russia was the main supplier for all the defense equipment to the India, and Russia was the 70%. Russian equipments were there in the inventory of India was 70% of the total inventory, and from that decades, last one decade, USA has suppressed the Russia in the field of providing defense equipment to India, and there started many trades between the USA and India, and it is now $142 billion between the billion dollars trade between USA and India, and they have make the target of $500 billion trade for next 10 years, that they will complete the target in next 10 years. And when we come to the energy requirements, there India used to get import oils from the Iran from last many decades, but USA now suppressed over this also by stating many pressures on India that for making good relations between them, they should supply oil to the India from USA, and then oil from USA, and there we see the good relations, as India was convinced by the USA that oil is to be supplied from USA to India at the same price that they get from Iran. And when we come for the recent developments, there are in US also supported in India's move in Kashmir after abrogation of Article 370 by calling it is an internal matter of India, and it also supported CAA and NRC Act in Assam. And recently in the COVID-19 crisis, US also supported India, and India as well as also supported USA by India supplied a high amount of hydroxyquinone to USA, and USA supplied ventilators to India, and this shows their good relations, and even recent times during the China standoff, USA stands by the India, and also supported India by taking action against the China in the Galwan Valley and the events of Ladakh that were going on, and seeing all these things, we can say that there are good relations between the India and USA, and they are becoming more stronger irrespective of the changing government.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, from tomorrow onwards, we will set timelines. One associate will take maximum 3.5 minutes because we have 8 associates in our group, and we will able to contribute maximum 30 or 31 minutes in the group discussion, and 7 to 8 minutes we will required for our doubts. So today you took approximately 12 minutes, but that is a nice discussion, and I think you are preparing very deeply regarding to energy requirements, and also you mentioned CA and RC. You open many threads in your explanation, right? So you should be prepared about those points. What is CA, what is NRC, and also you mentioned Article 370 abrogation. So you open multiple threads for interviewer. If someone will ask, then definitely you should be prepared about those points. But overall, it was a good explanation. So now quickly we will go for next associate, and that associate will take maximum 2.5 minutes only. You can just pick up the points from these guys, but you will have maximum 150 seconds. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So good evening to everyone. So when we talk about India-USA relations, USA recognized India on 15th August 1947. But in 20th century, India and US didn't have good relations, because one of the reason is that in 1971 war, when USSR Navy ships came in support of India, USA and UK, they both came in support of Pakistan. So from that, their relations declined. But in 1991, India and USA started Malabar exercise, which again helped in their boosting their relations. But after that, there was a main threat that USA don't agree that their term exists like terrorist. But in 2001, when there was a terrorist attack in USA accepted that term also. And after in 2011, when USA killed Osama bin Laden in Abbottabad of Pakistan, they got to know that Pakistan is not the country to support, because Pakistan is the factory of terrorists also. In recent years, India and USA, they have done 3 main agreements. In 2016, they done LAMOA agreement, which means that India and USA, they will both can share each other naval base attacks for in the wartime or need. Also, in 2020, they done a BECA agreement, Basic Exchange Cooperation Agreement, which means that they can use each other military satellites, because India have currently only 3 military satellites and US 750 satellites. So but all USA military satellites can see, India will also have that data. And also we did COMCASA agreement, which means when there will be a talk between the pilots, that will be encrypted end to end, and only the COMCASA members will be able to hear that their spellings. So this is one of the main agreements. And also in 2020, when Trump came India, Trump used a word that India and US, they both are against Islamic radical terrorism. This meant that the USA had a clear statement towards Pakistan. In recent time, although there is a good relation, but still there are some points where the relations go up and down. Like in 2018, USA threatened India by saying that they will sanction India by CATSA if they will buy Russian S-400. But India countered it, and now I would like to conclude that currently India and USA are having a good trade relations, and they both countries will find a good relation in upcoming years. Thank you.
Perfect, good. So definitely very pretty nice explanation in the very short time. Now we can go for next. So who is number, I think 6?
Jai Hind, everyone.
Hi, Jai.
Talking about India and the USA relation, as we all know that the USA is the oldest democratic country, while India is the biggest democratic country. As we all know that the past scenario was not good between India and USA. During the Cold War era, most countries of the world got aligned together. Either a key power countries like USSR or USA. Pakistan joined the US-led Western Bloc in 1954, while India decided to do not join any bloc and decided the joint non-aligned policy and refrained from joining any of the power bloc. Like in present time, USA regarded India as a strategic partner to boycott the communist China. That is why Kennedy administration openly supported India in Indo-China war in 1962. After the assassination of Kennedy in 1963, the India-US relation gradually deteriorated under the Nixon administration. He established good relations with Pakistan. The major reason for America joined Pakistan because India started demonstrating closeness with Soviet, and America wants to close allies to counter the Soviets. And at the present scenario, the bilateral relation improving, and America is like India best strategic partner in Asia, because in Asia, India is the powerful country to boycott the China monopoly. And talking about defense sector, India and China maintaining many exercise like Tiger Trump exercise and Cope India exercise, Malabar exercise, etc. exercise are done by the both countries. And talking about trade, India export about 53 billion and import 35 billion. And at last we can say that the maintaining good relation is important for both countries. Thank you, sir.
Okay, perfect. So now we will give only 2 minutes to who is Redmi. So Redmi will get a maximum 2 minutes for explain or summarize India-US relation. Who is Redmi? Only one associate is remaining now. So what is the name of that associate? I think not mentioned here in the participants. So who is Redmi? You are on mute. I think you are struggling for. I think you are speaking, but you are on mute. You have to unmute yourself first. Let me unmute you first.
Hello. Can
Yeah.
you hear me now?
Yeah. So you reduced now. You have only 90 seconds. Please go ahead quickly and summarize this point. So after that we will conclude. We have maximum 6 minutes now. So you will get 90 seconds. Please go ahead.
Okay. My name is okay. If we know the America is the most democratic country and they want to keep it okay. So on the other hand, China is spread lots of trade with each and every company. So the USA have the trade from China. That is why they are helping us. That means दुश्मन का दुश्मन हमारा भाई. That's why the US is supporting us, like join us in Quad membership and having the Malabar exercise. So yeah, that's why USA helping a lot. So I mean, बेटी गंगा में हाथ होना चाहिए हमको. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so you explained very nicely in, you can say, let me mute you. Okay, so definitely I will just now conclude this point in next in 2 minutes. So India-USA relations, you can say during the Cold War, it was a complete world was in the, you can say, two parts, divided in 2 parts, and India was literally, you can say, little bit tilted towards Soviet Union, and in the Cold War we not had good relations. But after Cold War, you can say, or after 1990, relations improved rapidly, and we started Malabar exercise, you can say, and also economically also our relations were improving. And after, you can say, World Trade Center or 9/11, definitely our relations improved rapidly, because USA realized that definitely there is a terrorism problem, which USA earlier was not accepting, and so that's why both were coming on the same pace slowly. And in recent past, our relations rapidly improved, and main reason for that is China, because China is growing very rapidly, and that's why for contain the China, both countries are facing challenges from the China, right? So that's why our relations are improving very rapidly, and you can say our every action is, you can say, in every action definitely China's conversation will come. So that's why you can conclude that definitely our relations are improving, and main factor for improve our relations is China factor, because now USA talking Indo-Pacific and also other terms are using. So that is the main factor. Okay. So any doubt, any questions?
Sir.
Yeah.
As we know that all the Pakistan is very much funded by the USA earlier, and the result which India is facing the terrorism, it is the result of USA support to Pakistan. Then why India has moved from Russia to USA in terms of relationship day by day?
Yeah, good question. But what is the most important point? Because now Russia is also facing challenges, right? Because China is growing very fastly, or you can say very rapidly. So now Russia is, you can say, moving towards the China much more compared to past. You can see in past also there were good relation between China and you can say Russia. But now we can't rely completely on the Russia, because now we are facing much more threat from the China, and if there will be, you can say, a fight or any issue between India and China, in that scenario definitely there will be a very difficult time for Russia, and most likely, as per our understanding, definitely Russia at last will go towards China, because there are very much on stake from the Russia side with China. So that's why we are just moving towards the, you can say, Western countries, including USA. Okay, 1 minute. So anyone have any doubt?
Sir,
Yeah, please go ahead.
Russia is a powerful country. It is a powerful country, and it is towards the China, and before it was towards the in our India, and India should make relation with Russia also, that it will not get any situation that will be harmful for India. Should India make any relation with Russia also?
I got your point, what you are trying to say. So most important point is we not have direct connectivity with Russia, and Russia have border, you can say, sharing border with China, right? So if you will compare economic relations between India and Russia, and Russia and China, there are much more bonding between Russia and China, because most of the you can say crude oil, or you can say natural gases and all these things, China is big buyer for those products from the Russia. Also from defense side also, China is a very big buyer. So in overall scenario, we are only dependent on the defense, but they are economically also they are very close, which is not viable for India. So we are wrapping this call today because time is out now. Tomorrow definitely we will connect with another point, and I will let you know on that topic name in the group chat. Okay, thank you all. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Hind, sir.